Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 226 of our Get Your Goals annual challenge. Today we're talking about communication goals, as we've been talking about communication goals, and we'll continue to this entire month as we focus on doing one thing every day to get what we want. Now, we're going to talk about body language today, and I'm just going to talk about 10 different categories of body language, and our action item is going to be to pick one of these areas and practice it today. Just pick one that you're going to try out, test out, and practice today. We could, and I'm going to probably do this because I put rate yourself from 1 to 10 on these in terms of how proficient are you at this particular form of body language. And as I go through them, you'll know what I mean. But 1 would be, of course, not really good at all. Maybe never thought about it, never even knew about it, or just haven't had an opportunity to practice it. And 10 being, hey, I've got this dialed in. I do this perfectly 95% of the time or 90% of the time. And so I'm really confident and I feel really good about this area or aspect of body language and its impact on my communication goals and objectives. Why do we care about body language? There's some statistics and lots of scientific studies and things that have been done. And if you know my take on statistics, you can make statistics say anything that you want to. But I think that this one is probably in line with how we as humans behave and perform. And the words we use are a very, very small percentage, like 10 to 20% of the communication and the message that we're getting across. Our body language is about 70, I think it's 70+%. And I don't remember the statistics. I didn't look it up for this. I just thought of it now. But anyway, between 10% and 70%, there's a big gap and a big difference. So if we don't have any awareness, and self-awareness is an important area in personal development. Hey, how am I doing right now? How do I want to be? What's the gap? How am I going to fill it? That's kind of what this challenge is all about. Not kind of. It is what this challenge is all about. It's what the SOAP framework is all about. It's what our goal setting process is all about. It's about what the annual challenge is all about. Making changes one little bit at a time, one little step at a time, every day, every single day. So what are these 10 areas of body language to consider? Maintaining eye contact for connection. We connect with other people by maintaining eye contact. We've all had conversations with people where they can't look you in the eye. How much do you trust that person if they can't look you in the eye? Usually if somebody can't look you in the eye, it's because they're lying to you or telling you misinformation or untruths. And at some level, even maybe it's just at a subconscious level, they're aware that they're not being honest and open with you. Number 2, posture. Posture is a reflection of confidence. If you're slumped over and slouched all the time and looking down and acting depressed, guess what? People are going to assume that you don't have very much confidence. So posture, a reflection of confidence, is the second area of body language that we want to consider. Third, gestures. Do you talk with your hands? Some of us talk with our hands all the time, and it's hard to keep our hands out of our face. Other people don't make hardly any gestures. They're very stoic. They sit very stiff and straight, and they don't make hardly any hand gestures or body movements, etc. So they are used to enhance expressiveness, right? I move my hands a lot because I'm emphasizing what I'm saying. Fourth, mirroring. And mirroring fosters rapport with people, right? If you are sitting and having a long conversation with someone, notice after a while, both of you are making the same movements, the same posture, the same gestures, the same facial expressions over the time of that conversation. If you're relating positively to one another, if you're relating negatively to one another, you're probably making opposite gestures or opposite mirroring. You're not following and going along with their body language. Fifth, we want to smile. Why? Because smiling is the universal welcome. When we smile at people, we don't have to say anything else. We're just sending them some positive energy. 6, effective space management, meaning, are you allowing people their personal space? We all have a personal comfort zone, a buffer between us and another person. And the more intimate the relationship, the less that buffer is, the less that space between one another is. But are you managing the space properly for the different relationships and communications that you're having? Touch conveys emotion, of course. So how do you use physical touch? Do you touch people on the arms? Do you hug people? Are you a hugger? Do you never touch people, etc.? Facial expression is number 8, and that is the window to our emotions. And our idiom for today for Supersize Your Business is to keep a straight face. And I have to try to keep a straight face while I'm talking about keeping a straight face. So that we know will be a challenge for me. So facial expressions show what our emotions are. And on some people, some of us, our emotions show more than others. I will admit I am guilty of that. Voice modulation adds depth to the communication and conversations. Do you speak in a monotone like a robot and never change the tonality or modulation or level of your voice? If you do, people aren't going to listen to you very much. And finally, active listening, which we've talked about almost every day this month and probably will continue after we're done with the communication segment, because active listening, having people know that you are actually paying attention to them, it non-verbally signals the affirmation they should continue talking and that you are actually getting the intent and the message that they're trying to convey. So, scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself on each of these? I'm going to do it. I haven't done it yet. I just thought about it late last night. I'm like, that's another thing we can rate ourselves on, because then we can measure if we're improving over time. I would say there are definitely areas for improvement for me with my body language and nonverbal, primarily because I haven't spent a whole lot of time ever learning about or studying body language. I just kind of live my life and go with the flow, as most humans do. So it's an area that I could definitely improve in. Any questions about this, hit me up. There is a little write-up, of course, Guide 17 of the Get Up and Go Challenge private Facebook group. You can see that there. And then this videos are stored there in Guide 16 as well as all the videos and all the challenges from 2020, pandemic year, 2021, which is kind of still a pandemic year. Every other month I did a 30-plus day challenge to keep us moving forward and to get up and go. And then last year I did an annual challenge. All right, I've done an annual challenge for about since 2018, 19, 20, 21, 22, 6 years, but I did 3 in 2018. It was a busy year, 2018. Getting me going and figuring out videos, etc. So those are all in there as well. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, have a fantastic day. Of course, we sit around with day 227, focusing on communication goals of our annual challenge. Have an amazing day and an amazing week ahead.